afternoon. We call to order the regular meeting of West Valley City Council. Our time is a little different this evening because of the scheduled open house at the Cultural Celebration Center that we will be participating in. We note that we have all council members with the exception of Councilwoman Karen Lang, who is excused tonight. We'll begin our meeting with an opening ceremony with Council Member Lars Nordfeld.
Thank you, Mayor. Would everyone please stand and recite the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. There was a scout troop passed through. I think it was a Cub Scout group, and but we're touring. So next on our agenda, approval of the minutes of March 7th.
Move for approval of the minutes of March 7th, 2017.
Second.
It's properly before us. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll all in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes unanimously. The minutes are approved. We have our public comment period. We didn't have anyone sign up. Is there anyone here for public comment? Seeing no one here for public comment, we'll turn to our city manager. Any comments for us this evening?
No, sir. Thank you.
City council, any comments? Other than what's on our agenda, which you'll have a chance to talk about. Then we go to application SV-1-2017. This was filed by the city for a partial street vacation at 2700 West at approximately 2163 South. This particular piece of ground was never utilized. It's the street kind of curved away from it, and then the entrance to some of the businesses there left a little small piece, and rather than our holding on to it and trying to deal with it, the business owner there has agreed to take ownership of that, to landscape it, and so it's a win for us and for that particular business. That is the issue. With that explanation, then I will open the public hearing portion of this application. Is there anyone here to speak to this application? So, nope. We have a pretty small crowd and a quiet crowd. So we'll close the public hearing portion. We'll bring it back to the council to consider ordinance 17-11 to vacate this parcel of ground.
Mayor, I move for approval of ordinance 17-11.
Second. Motion is properly before us. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll turn to our city recorder for the vote.
Councilman Vincent?
Yes.
Councilman Bueller?
Aye.
Councilman Hume?
Aye.
Councilman Christensen?
Yes.
Councilman Nordfeld?
Yes.
And Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Next we go to resolutions 17-35. This is a franchise agreement. This one is with Electric Lightwave and West Valley City. This is on telecommunications network in the city. We've done a number of these before. Just gives them authority to do what the others do to install their lines. That is the issue before us. And so to the council.
Mayor, move for approval of resolution 17-35.
Second.
It's properly before us, 17-35. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll turn to our city recorder for the vote.
Councilman Nordfeld?
Yes.
Councilman Christensen?
Yes.
Councilman Hume?
Aye.
Councilman Bueller?
Aye.
Councilman Vincent?
Yes.
And Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay. Then resolution 17-41, a special warranty deed from the redevelopment agency for property at 3550 South Constitution Boulevard. This is a part of our whole redevelopment project here in this area. And this is just transferring ownership. I'm trying to remember the details of that, but I left my computer home, so I have the agenda. Anything else we ought to add there? Introduction to that? If not, to the council for a motion.
Mayor, I move for approval of resolution 17-41.
Second.
Motion and a second, properly before us. Any further comments? Seeing none, to our recorder.
Councilman Vincent,
Yes.
Councilman Bueller,
Aye.
Councilman Hume,
Aye.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
and Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay. Next, we have our consent agenda. We have resolution 17-36 and 37, 38, 39, and 40 that are simple grants of temporary construction easements. And these are properties located around Tess Avenue near the elementary school there. And then resolution 17-42, which is as well a temporary construction easement as well as a right-of-way contract. But that one's at 4094 South Constitution Boulevard. Can't remember what that was, but there's a little, it seemed like there's a, but anyway, they're on consent. These are fairly routine items. Okay, yeah. So with that, any other comments on it? Not, then a motion from the council.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Second. Properly before us, any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll turn to our city recorder for the vote.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Hume,
Aye.
Councilman Bueller,
Aye.
Councilman Vincent,
Yes.
and Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. That completes our agenda. We don't have a need for an executive session, but immediately following the meeting will be our Special Redevelopment Agency meeting. With that then, a motion for this meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The regular city council meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Mayor. Call to order a special regular meeting of the West Valley City Redevelopment Agency. And at roll call, we have every council member is here except for Councilwoman Ken Land is excused tonight. We have resolution number 17-02, and I will turn over to City Manager, Mr. Pyle.
Thank you, sir. As we're continuing this development of our Fairborn Station area, one of the projects that we're proposing tonight is a transfer of property ownership, which is at 3550 South Constitution Boulevard. It's better known as the Toys R Us property, which we currently own, from the RDA to West Valley City.
And we'll turn it over to a council member for motion or action.
Move to approve resolution 17-02.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second, so we'll turn over to the recorder, Nicole.
Mr. Vincent,
Yes.
Mr. Bueller,
Aye.
Mr. Bigelow,
Aye.
Mr. Nordfelt,
Yes.
Mr. Christensen,
Yes.
Mr. Hume,
Aye.
or Chairman Hume. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. And we have another resolution 17-03, so I will turn it over to Mr. Pyle again.
Thank you, sir. This is an incentive agreement between the RDA and Bart Longyear Company. This is a process that we go to from time to time and deal with many different companies within the city and the various RDA project areas. I know the council saw a presentation or had some explanation of this in a previous meeting, but at the board's pleasure, I would have the RDA staff make a short presentation as to its particulars if you'd like, sir.
Well, half of us weren't at the...
Ah, very good, okay. Well, as I wasn't here last week either,
Yeah.
that would be in order then. So with that, sir, I'd ask our gentleman here, Mr. Springmeyer, is going to come up and present the project.
Thank you. I do not have the slides that we had, unless you have them anymore. That's okay. We had some photographs for the last meeting. We can walk you through this. But the proposed agreement, we have an opportunity to bring 200 new jobs quality jobs to West Valley City, to eliminate an 8-year blight on the area, and to lease out the last remaining of our large 100,000 square foot or more vacant buildings remaining in the city. Boart, excuse me, I've got a little bit of throat here. Boart Longyear is a global mineral exploration company currently headquartered in Salt Lake City, and additionally has 5 other locations in Salt Lake City. Boart has leased out what was the Classic Cabinets building, previously the Mervyn's building, with the intent of bringing all 5 of those existing facilities, sans their headquarters that are in Salt Lake, and relocating them, consolidating them into one facility here in West Valley City. Classic Cabinets building, we said previously, the Mervyn's building has been virtually vacant since 2009. Been proven to be quite challenging for the owners and for RDA staff to assist with a lease. Boart's going to construct permanent infrastructure on this facility to the exterior of the building as well as to the landscaping around the site. Under the proposed agreement, the RDA interest income account will be used to offset some of these associated costs with these infrastructure improvements. They'll be structured in 3 $50,000 payments paid throughout different increments throughout the term of the agreement. And if Boart leaves this facility prior to the full 10-year term of their initial 10-year term of their lease, all of those monies paid to them will be due back to the city. We believe Boart will be a valuable long-term asset to the city and occupy a long-standing vacant property, and we would ask for your support for the proposed agreement. Welcome any questions. Thank you for pulling that up, Jake. You can see these are some of the proposed improvements for the building. Yes, Mr. Christensen.
I know at one point several of the surrounding residents came to us and were complaining about the possibility of dust and everything else as they store their equipment there.
Correct.
Has that been mitigated at all?
We believe that it has, yes. Boart Longyear has plans to put up a perimeter wall as well as increase adding some new landscaping that will, where landscaping doesn't exist now, to act as a buffer to the residential area.
Yeah, that was one of the questions I was going to ask as well, because they were worried about parking heavy equipment and using space that was green space before. So I had the same question.
My question is, so they're going to put gravel or they're going to put dirt?
I'm sorry, in the outside storage area?
Yeah.
It is intended to be gravel at this point.
Okay. Yeah. Any other question? Okay, and I will turn it over to our council members. Do you have a motion or the action?
Chair, I move for approval of Resolution 17-03.
We have a motion?
Second.
We have a second. Thank you, Mayor. And I will turn over to Recorder Nico.
Mr. Vincent?
Yes.
Mr. Bueller?
Aye.
Mr. Bigelow?
Aye.
Mr. Christensen?
Yes.
Mr. Nordfeld?
Yes.
And Chairman Hume?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, we have one more motion, and we wish that motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you. We adjourn, and every please just say aye for this, and we will close the meeting tonight.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.